If this was July 19th, 1969, I would be telling you that Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins had just entered into lunar orbit. They would have been propelled by this Saturn V rocket they see behind me. It's an exact representation of the type of rockets that were used during that time. And while they were in that lunar orbit, they were on the verge of what would be a world-changing achievement, an achievement that still holds power all these decades later. 50 years ago, July 20th, 1969, the Apollo 11 mission successfully put the first man on the moon.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Neil Armstrong's historic steps, taken 6 hours after the initial lunar landing, officially ended the space race.
Apollo 11 was about setting an ambitious goal before the world.
An estimated 650 million people worldwide tuned in to the spacewalk, and a lot of those people still remember exactly what they were doing when those iconic steps were taken.
I was 12 years old, and I remember sitting with my family watching on our black and white television.
Nobody could believe that it was even happening. You'd look up at the moon, it seemed so far away.
A host of events were planned for the week leading up to the mission's 50-year commemoration, starting July 16th, the anniversary of the Apollo 11 launch. An image of the Saturn V rocket was projected onto the east face of the Washington Monument. Neil Armstrong's spacesuit was unveiled at the National Air and Space Museum, and the U.S. Postal Service issued 2 commemorative Forever stamps. 50 years later, the nation's still celebrating the pride, the excitement, and the wonder of that truly historic day. And of course, one of the big questions now is, when are we going back to the moon? Well, that's already in the plans, even within the next 5 years. In fact, NASA says their goal is to get back to the moon by 2024, and this time putting the first woman on the moon and the next man, and this time with a goal of sustainability for what they say will eventually serve as a conceptual launch pad for the journey to Mars. But it's impossible to look forward without first remembering an achievement now 50 years ago tomorrow, an achievement that has gone down as one of the greatest in human history. Reporting from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, I'm Omar Jimenez.